With an election in just 8 weeks, a court of appeals has reinstated Wisconsin's voter ID law. A U.S. judge struck down the law back in April, but today a panel of federal judges overturned the ruling. Joining us now with the latest is News 8's Kyle Dimke.
Lisa, 3 Republican-appointed judges heard arguments from both sides today, and about an hour ago they made their ruling. Wisconsin's Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen wanted to see the law in place for the election in November, but election officials say because the vote is approaching so quickly, the change is going to cause some headaches. Preparing for the November election is going smoothly over in the La Crosse County Clerk's office. Next week, County Clerk Ginny Dankmeyer says absentee ballots will begin to be sent out.
So, the voting process for the most part has already started for the November elections.
But now that voters are required to show an ID,
it could be a chaotic mess.
Dankmeyer says with the law passed, there's going to be a lot of questions.
It's going to cause a lot of confusion between the voters of who voted without the ID, who's going to vote now with ID.
And she says the amount of training that needs to be given to more than 200 people working at the polls in the county is going to be time-consuming and stressful.
The county clerks would probably meet with the GAB. They would give us guidance, let us know what's going to be acceptable, how the procedures are going to be done. And once that happened, and then we would come back and do training with the municipal clerks and the poll workers and chief inspectors.
With all the added preparation now put on her plate, Dankmeyer says there's still one more important piece she needs to figure out.
What are we going to do to make sure they're educated on what they need and that they're getting to the DMV and where they need to be to get their IDs so they can still go vote as well.
Also today, Governor Scott Walker approved new rules making it easier to obtain a state ID to vote without having a birth certificate. Under the new rules, a person gives their birth information to the DOT and the state will search for birth records verifying the data.
Thank you, Kyle. The election is set for November 4th.